Today my topic of lecture is fracture. Right? Fracture is a very important part of surgery. Many cases of fracture in our premises. So first you should know development of bone or anatomy of bone. Bone is a specialization connective tissue with mineralized collagenous fiber, provide a skeleton support to the body, right? So this is our body skeleton that is support to our body. It acts as lever of muscles, right? Gives form to soft tissue, protect the vital organs, help in locomotion of animals, and also serve as mineral bank. So these all are the important you can say important role of our body of a skeletal system, right? Embryogenic stage development of a bone take place from the mesenchyme, a diffuse loose cellular tissue laying between ectoderm and endoderm of the embryo. So, composition of bone, right? Composition of bone is bone cells, organic matrix, and minerals, right? So, these are the major component of bones. Then the bone cells include osteoblasts, osteoblasts, osteocytes, and osteoclasts. These cells are derived from undifferentiated mesenchymal cells, that is osteoprogenitors cell. So you should remember three major components: bone cell, organic matrix, minerals, and the bone cells are osteoblasts, osteocytes, and osteoclasts. Mesenchymal cells are also differentiated into. So roles of mesenchymal cells and our skeletal system is very important. So after differentiation, there is cartilage, fascia, ligament, and tendon. These are differentiation of mesenchymal cells. Early stage development, the skeletal structure appears as dense concentration of mesenchymal cells that tend to take shape of particular bone, right? In a starting, mesenchymal cells appears as dense concentration, right? Then after take shape of particular bones. These localized area of bone formation are called ossification center, right? So ossification may heteroplastic, endochondral, or intramembranous, depending on the environment which the bone formation takes place. So formation of bones is also depend upon the environment, right? A bone formed tissue other than a skeleton is called heteroplastic, right? Other than a skeleton, that is heteroplastic. Exception: os penis of dog, os cordis of bovine, or os pharynx of camel. These are the exceptional case. So types of bone, Types of bone. Based on the shape, bone can be classified as long bones, short bones, and long bones, short bones, and flat bones. Right? Long bones are present in limb. Okay. Example: femur, humerus, tibia, and radius. Right? So these are the long bones that are present in limbs. Short bones are mainly seen in joint capsules and tarsals, right? So short bones are mainly seen in joint capsules and tarsals. Flat bone are present in skull, pelvis, and rib. So these are related to long bones, short bones, and flat bones, and their location accordingly. Types of bone. Based on the structure, bone can be classified as vertical bone, compact bone, cancellous bone, or spongy bone. Okay, vertical bone, compact bone, and cancellous or spongy bones. Compact bone is found largely in the shaft or long bones that surrounds the marrow cavity, right? So compact bone found surrounding the marrow cavity. Spongy bone is found in vertebra, flat bones, and the end of long bones. I think you have seen some bones related to vertebra, flat bones, and long bones, and I think you have seen some minute structure that is related to spongy structure. Intramembranous ossification. Intramembranous ossification. Intramembranous ossification. Mesenchymal cells differentiate into osteoblasts. Osteoblasts begin to secrete intracellular substances of the bones. So, mesenchymal cells here is a very important part of bone that differentiate into osteoblast. Osteoblasts begin to secrete the intracellular substances of the bone. Intracellular substances replace amorphous fluid and encloses the osteoblasts and are called as osteocytes, right? Actively secreting osteoblasts line the surface, newly formed spiculi of the bone and continue to grow the radial manner, producing trabeculae. Branching and forming a differentiate trabeculae result in scaffolding, right? The bone formed by scaffolding trabeculus is formed as cancellous bone. So here my advice, you should also consult to bone regarding anatomy of bone. Uh, the continued deposition of fresh bone, lamellae on trabeculae and appositional bone graft form a compact bone. The surface connective tissue becomes the periosteum. Endochondral ossification, the process by which the bone formed in a cartilaginous environment is called endochondral ossification. Okay, according to environment. Mesenchymal cells differentiate into chondroblasts. Cartilage model increases in length and width by interstitial as well as appositional growth. It involves proliferation, maturation, and enlargement or chondrocytes. Enlargement of chondrocytes. The earliest chondrocytes of the center matures, enlarge, and secrete alkaline phosphatase into the intracellular substances and becomes calcified. So calcification occurs in alkaline environment. Right? It brings changes in behavior of pleuropotential cells of perichondrium. These pleuropotential cells also involve in a very important role in stem cells therapy, right? These cells differentiate into osteoblasts, and thin layer of bone is laid around the cartilage. Membrane enclosing the cartilage model called periosteum. Formation of secondary ossification center help in the growth of bone. The young cartilage at each into model continues to grow and extend by a interstitial growth to increase the length of the model. The cancellation bone is central part is reabsorbed from a medullary cavity and later on filled with myeloid tissue. You can see here fertilized hyaline cartilage model developed. Hyaline cartilage, you can see here hyaline cartilage, you can see here periosteum, then you can see here degenerating hypertrophic cartilage. This one is small. Then developing periosteum, that is outer part of bone. Periosteal bone collar, you can see here periosteal bone collar, and this yellow one is developing periosteum, right? Cartilage calcifies and periosteal bone collar form around diaphysis. So you can see here epiphyseal capillary. You can see here epiphyseal capillary, blood vessels of periosteal bud. Here primary ossification center is here. Then primary ossification center form in the diaphysis, right? So primary ossification occur in diaphysis. Then next step is secondary ossification center form in epiphysis, right? developing compact bone. Okay, here you can see medullary cavity, secondary ossification centers, here secondary ossification centers. Then next step is bone replaces cartilage except the articular cartilage and epiphyseal plate. Okay, then here if cartilage, then here epiphyseal plate is here, right? And epiphyseal plate is here. So you can see here some part of cartilage. Then you can see here articular cartilage is here, right? This one is spongy bone, right? This one is spongy bone. You can see here compact bone. Compact bone is formed. Then you can see outer side. This one is periosteum, right? Then next phase is epiphyseal plate ossify and form epiphyseal lines, right? So you can see here epiphyseal lines, right? This one is epiphyseal lines. And here you can see spongy bone. This one is articular cartilage. You can see here this one is articular cartilage. This one is medullary cavity, and you can see here again spongy bone of epiphysis region. So these are for how bone develop, how bone ossification occur, how medullary cavity develop. These are the process. So you should know anatomy of long bone. So long bone is divided into three parts. Epiphysis, okay, present on both end of the bone and is composed of trabeculae. You can see here epiphysis, this here to here epiphysis. You can see here this one is proximal epiphysis, this one is distal epiphysis, right? And you can see here metaphysis composed of trabecular bone which contains hemopoietic elements. So metaphysis is here to here. Here a spongy bone content and marrow, right? So epiphysis upper and lower, then metaphysis lower and upper, then diaphysis is which one? Here to here. That is diaphysis. Okay. So you should remember proximal epiphysis, distal epiphysis, metaphysis, then diaphysis. The entire surface of long bone, except at the end of the which articular cartilage present, is covered by periosteum because articular cartilage is end of the bone for articulation. Then blood supply divided into three main components: afferent vascular system, artery and arterioles carrying nutrient, right? Nutrient artery you can see here, that is afferent system. Efferent vascular system, vein and venules carrying waste product. Okay. Then intermediate vascular system, capillary linking differentiate and efferent vascular system. So here fracture. So what is fracture, right? So dissolution in the continuity of bone with or without displacement of fracture fragment is known as fracture, or you can say break of break in the continuity of hard tissue, that is fracture, and break in the continuity in soft tissue, that is wound. Etiology for fracture, that is first one is extrinsic cause, then second one is intrinsic cause, right? In under subheading of extrinsic cause, that is indirect trauma, direct trauma, right? uh, Subheading under intrinsic cause, that is muscular contraction or pathological fracture. Indirect trauma. Indirect trauma, bending force, transitional force, shearing force, or compressive force. You can see here compression. Compression from this side and compression from this side. So both the end under compression that cause fracture, right? You can see here tension. Tension force, that is opposition of bone, right? If this force apply outside, this force is also applied outside, that cause tension, and after this tension, result is fracture of bone, right? And next one is shearing. So you can see here one force pushing this side and one force pushing this side of bone. Okay, that cause fracture of bone due to shearing force. You can see here torsion. Okay, torsion force surround the bone, and one torsion force in from this side and another torsion from this opposite side, and that causes fracture. Bending force, just one end bent towards the this side, another end also bent towards this side, that causes fracture of bone. Pathological fracture. Pathological fracture occur bone tumor due to bone tumor and cyst, osteoporosis, hypoparathyroidism, localized bone infection, osteoporosis caused by prolonged fixation. Prolonged fixation means if uh, you will do POP or internal or external fixation and leave for long time, that also cause osteoporosis, right? So your pathological factor are bone tumors and cyst, osteoporosis, hyperparathyroidism, localized bone infection, osteoporosis caused by prolonged fixation. Classification on the basis of communication of fracture site to the environment, on the basis of extent of bone fracture fragment, on the basis of type of bone involved, right? On the basis of displacement of the fracture fragment. So these are the classification. So you should remember on the basis of communication of fracture site of to the environment, on the basis of extent of bone damage, and on the basis of number of fracture fragment, and on the basis of type of bone involved, and on the basis of displacement of the fracture fragment. On the basis of communication of fracture site to the environment, first is according to that, three types of fracture, that is simple fracture, compound fracture, and complicated fracture. In case of simple fracture, does not communicate with the environment. That means the skin is not break in this condition, simple fracture. Okay, without skin break, bone can't communicate with the environment. That is simple fracture. Then compound fracture communicate with the environment and more prone to infection. But obvious, if breakage of skin and bone outside the skin, that means bone communicate with the environment, that is compound fracture, and that fracture more prone to infection. Complicated fracture, a closed fracture with considerable injury and accompanied by the opening of a joint or vascular cavity. So, complicated fracture is involved with the joint or vascular cavity. That is complicated fracture. So difference between compound and complicated fracture. In case of compound fracture, there is not in there is a involvement of joint or vascular cavity not occurs, and in case of complicated fracture, there is involvement of joint or vascular cavity. So these are the about anatomy of bone, classification of bone. This is impossible to deal in 30 or 45 minutes class, details of anatomy. So my advice to consult the book or atlas for proper knowledge of anatomy, right? If there is not proper knowledge of anatomy of bone, then you can't treat fracture. So thank you.